Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of 0 to 60. Today's episode, we're giving the 17T car some love, which I'm happy about because it's my car. Just so everyone knows, we have the black LED sequential guard flashes back in stock on 0 to 60. But today, on this car, I need to sort this out. So, basically, since I fitted the M3 control arms, it's moved the front wheel forwards a little bit, and it now hits on this little vent thing in there. But as you can see, I can push it back before it actually hits the oil cooler, so hopefully I can get this reshaped, get me some more wheel clearance and go from there. I'm thinking about lowering it. Let me know what you think. Other really exciting things that I need to share with you guys: it's now got a crystal start button. Yes, I actually had a red one in it for a day and it was just a little bit too street racery for my liking, so I've gone with the crystal. This actually looks a little bit cooler at night, but let me know what you think. Should I go with the full red or the crystal? And I had to go red, not blue, just so it matches the calipers. That's really cool. I'm happy with that. She works. This box, I just picked this up from the courier this morning. That is something that I think is going to rock the N54 world a little bit. I'm really excited about it. I'm more excited about what's in that box than I was about the Chinese Brembos. Yeah, it's going to be huge. Can't wait to talk about them and have a good proper look, but I will tell you what they are later in the episode. For now, let's go for a drive, because the other thing I need to sort out is this diff, and I'll show you what it's doing. I don't know if you guys heard that. It does it a little bit better on a sharper corner, which we'll get to up here. But yeah, basically, I've got an M factory clutched 1.5 way diff in this, and the clutch diff is quite aggressive on the street. I'm starting to live with it, but it's just not, I don't know, it's just a bit awkward sometimes. That noise there. Now that noise has improved significantly since I've put the Hillside Motorsport diff brace on, hoping to have those available to the public maybe the end of this week, end of next week. It's definitely helped a few aspects of the rear end on this car. Still haven't had a chance to do the test to see if we can crack an axle, snap an axle. But yeah, the diff brace and the solid subframe bushes have quietened that clunking down, but basically the diff chatter is outstanding. And I'll do another sharp turn here once the traffic's clear. But basically what it is, I didn't do it that time. I can hear the wheel chirping. I suppose the roads are wet, so I'm getting more tire slip than diff chatter. But yeah, basically what it's doing is just the way that the clutches are grabbing and releasing. When you've got some heat in the rear end, it's actually not too bad. So if I drive this car hard for sort of 10 or 20 minutes, it shuts up. But most of the driving, I don't beat on the car enough. It's sort of 1 or 2 quick pulls and then we go back to normal driving. So what I'm going to try and do, and it was recommended by Penrite, I actually spoke to them directly about different oils and additives for the clutched LSD and seeing what we could do, and they've recommended their quick ease fluid. So as well as sorting out that front wheel arch, I want to get some of their, quick shift. I don't know, I'll show you when we get up in the shed. I've had it for ages. We're going to run that in it and see if it quietens the diff down, yeah, and go from there. But let's get this thing up on the shed, up in the shed, up on the lift, and go from there. Well, we're in the shed, and it's also about 4 hours later. Let me explain why. I have given the shed the clean of its lifetime, and there's still mud in here because I've just driven this car in, but the whole shed's had a nice vacuum, clean, mop, everything is the cleanest it's been in ages. I'm not going to hold out on you guys anymore on this. These are a set of con rods which are made in China. They are forged con rods that's going to go in that motor right there. Pretty excited about it. They're cheap. They're like not a lot of money. I'll talk more about them in tomorrow's video. I'm going to do a separate video just on those. And this is the product I'm going to put in the diff. Now, I did mention it earlier, but this was recommended by Penrite, and it does say on the back that it prevents chatter and provides smooth operation of clutch type differentials. So that's what it should be. That clunking that we actually hear from the diff is the clutches in the diff basically grabbing and slipping and grabbing and slipping. So hopefully that will sort it out. And I did actually do a fluid change, I think about 2 weeks after I put the diff in, just to make sure that the fluid was compatible with the clutch type diff. And it's a really thick fluid and it still chatters like hell. So we'll see if that sort of fixes it out. But let's get it up on the hoist and we'll remove the inner guard liner and get on with it. Oh, I also washed the car as well. This is why things take me too long. I get on a habit of cleaning and then who knows where the time goes. Anyway, let's get on with it. Okay, so the problem with the guard, the inner guard hitting the tyre, is this section here. In fact, you can see it's that bolt. So what I'm gonna do, I'll take that out, see if we can get it to sit up closer to the engine oil cooler. Hopefully it's going to be a nice little simple thing. Let me get this taken off. Okay, so I can see that it's this section here that actually hits up against the oil cooler in there. I'm gonna basically trim a fair bit of this off so we've got more clearance against the cooler, and then heat this up and try and bend it right in so we got it to permanently sit about there. Alright, I'll crack on with it. Okay, so we've got that section there cut off, and when it's slotted in place, yeah, we can go way further in. So what I'm going to do is basically heat up all of this and try and get it to sort of want to live further in there. Basically stretch it through this section here. Alright, so I'm actually rejigged this vent. It actually wasn't sitted properly, so maybe that's actually amplified the initial problem, but we've all sort of got it all back in and it's definitely sitting a fair bit further in now. So let's put the wheel back on, get it on lock and see if we got clearance. Although I think we're going to be pretty safe. Yeah, that's definitely a lot further back. All right, so that is the wheel right there. Let's see if we can spin it. Oh, bloody heaps of clearance. So yeah, we've gone from rubbing to probably a good 20 or 30 mil. Go a bit further. Yeah, we're good. Now, it's that bolt, it's just above the center line. So it'll be a little bit closer when the car is down, closer to this point here, but we've still got plenty of clearance, I reckon. Sweet. Well, that's one thing fixed. Let's get on to the diff. So, this is the diff we're going to have a quick look at. Now this is the Hillside, this was the prototype Hillside diff brace, and I think I said at the start of this video, which was about 7 hours ago now, this has definitely tightened up the rear end and it's reduced axle tramp. But we know that's what these diff braces do. I haven't had a different diff brace on this car. Shane did sort of go over the top with this one. You can see it is physically huge. I think it's, oh God, I can't remember the plate. I'll have the details down below of all the dimensions, but he's used quite thick plate. This being the prototype, he didn't have the hardware all organized first, so I did use different bolts, but I mean, it does the job. Shane does now have hardware sorted. The only thing that was also different on this one, the holes did not line up with the holes in the subframe, so I did drill new holes in the subframe. The subframe is super thin, so it's pretty easy to re-drill holes if you need to. I know a lot of the diff braces on the market only have 2 bolts. Shane, he's just gone over the top. Maybe it's too much. I don't know. Can you have too much diff brace? It's pretty crazy. It's definitely tighter to drive with. Anyway, let's get the fill plug open. Oh, and he did design it so you can service the diff without taking the diff brace off. All right, let's get that bung out. Way. It feels tight, those things. Yeah, from memory, I just did it to this level, but we'll see how much comes out. A little bit. Wow, that looks pretty dirty. So this oil's only been in there for probably 3,000 Ks, maybe even less. But she's got some nice color to it. I might actually do a fresh, I have got spare diff oil, so I might suck a load of that out, put the additive in, and then top it up with fresh oil as well, while we're here. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see that. It's not terrible, but that's not the color it was when it went in. But it is a clutch diff, so you're going to get clutch material in the oil. It's going to happen. While the diff's draining out a bit more, I was just going to show you as well. I did get some of this limited slip diff additive, thinking that I needed the additive to stop the chatter, but pretty much all of the modern decent limited slip diff oils come with that additive already in there, so I bought that for no reason. That's what you'd use if you were using a really cheap diff oil. Spoke to Penrite about that after buying it, and they said, don't use that, it's already in the oil, use this. So we're going on with 10/10 shifties. Now when you see it in the shop, I assumed it was for transmissions, but it does help with the clutch chatter. And you're supposed to use 250 mils for every 1.25 litres. This is only 125 mils, and these diffs hold, I think they hold, I can't even remember. Anyway, I'm going to use one tube in it, and I've decided not to drain that oil because I figured this might mess it up. So instead of wasting that oil, which isn't that old, I'll just take a little bit out, put this in, and we'll go from there and make sure this is going to work. Because it could ruin the diff. All right, so I syringed out just over 100 mil, and a fair bit dripped out, actually, surprisingly enough. I'm going to try and not syringe, but squeeze this new stuff in using the same hose. Now, I have got a picture of, oh, it's so gross. How good does diff oil smell? I have got a picture of the color of the fluid that was coming out of it. If this fixes it, I might do another oil change soonish. I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking the color of the fluid. It just looks way darker than I was expecting for pretty low mileage. All right, let's get this stuff in. Oh, come on, come in. I think that's about it. Might try and squeeze another bit in with syringe maybe. And, oh God, I'm spilling it. God, this shit is slippery. Okay, that's just the last little bit that I got out of the bottle. God, it's hard. Come on. Oh, there it is. Most of it went in anyway. Right, let me get it topped off with normal diff oil. So there it is. Additive is in, and we'll see how it goes. I've also put a little bit, there's about 100 mils of fresh oil. No, probably more than that. About 150 mils of fresh oil has gone in. I wasn't gonna do I was actually gonna do a fresh oil change, but I think I'll see how it goes with the additive, because if the additive makes the diff worse, I can just put some fresh oil in and we're back to where we were, which isn't terrible, it's just not great for a daily driver. Yeah, it's just a little bit too harsh, and sometimes when you're, well, in the mornings when you first go out in the car, you don't want to be going bang, 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 bang around corners, and it's just a bit funny in car parks. So we'll see how we go. In fact, this clutch diff feels more aggressive than the locked diff in O'Reilly, and it's because the way these plates are grabbing and releasing. It's just a bit weird. So hopefully that sorts it out. We'll see how we go. Now, I was planning on taking this for a test drive in this video and seeing how that goes, but I'm gonna wait until the morning when everything's nice and cold and go from there. Plus it is dark outside right now. And what I am gonna film is for tomorrow, which is Good Friday's video, the unboxing of these forged con rods. I'm pretty excited about that, and yeah, we'll see how we go. You'll have to see what they're like in tomorrow's video, and I'll tell you the story behind them and what I'm thinking with them. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.